more than 50 years, Iggy Pop has cemented his status as the godfather of punk. The iconic rocker is best known for his wild and often unpredictable on-stage antics. When we last spoke nearly 3 years ago, Iggy said he might be done making music, but the rock legend is back with his 18th solo album, Free.
Iggy Pop has always been a primal performer, an artist who literally bled for his audience. It was Iggy who invented the stage dive. At 72, he has finally stopped.
I haven't stage dived all year.
You haven't stage dived all year?
Not. I did 12 gigs. I worked the front. I'll get in their faces, but I can't do that anymore. I did it up through last year.
Yeah.
And if I do it now, there's something's liable to detach itself.
His last album, Post-Pop Depression, released in 2016, was his first to crack the top 20 on the pop charts.
How did that feel?
Well, it sort of felt like, okay.
Done that.
Yeah, exactly. It was, okay, for those of you who didn't think, yeah, I took care of that. But yeah, you don't have to do that every time.
This time, for his 18th solo album, Free, Iggy is crooning over a jazzier groove.
My skills are better than they were 20 years ago. I can handle a tune now, and I wanted to do that.
Iggy made his name in the late 60s as the howling frontman for Detroit punk pioneers The Stooges. He remembers trying to explain his singing to a girlfriend's father.
She had told him I was a vocalist. He said, well, yeah, you must sound like Neil Diamond. This is in 1969, you know, I didn't want to be Neil Diamond, although I recognized his quality.
Iggy is the alter ego of James Osterberg Jr., who's been married since 2008 to Nina Alu.
When she said, I couldn't live with Iggy Pop, but I can live with Jim.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Well, that's true.
Are they two very different people?
They should be. Put it that way.
Jimmy Osterberg grew up in a trailer park in Ypsilanti, Michigan.
These are your folks.
This is my father, James Osterberg, Sr., my namesake, and this is Luella, my mother.
Jimmy was voted most likely to succeed in high school, but when music became his passion, his father, an English teacher, did not approve.
It seemed like a head in the clouds dream to him, but at the end of his life, he took my hand and told me that I'd made my dream come true.
He did?
Yeah, yeah. He was a great man.
What did it mean to you to hear your dad say that at the end?
I was shocked at his generosity. He was trying to square things with me a little bit, you know. He also told me, you were right about Vietnam.
This summer marked the 50th anniversary of the Stooges' debut album, but Iggy, the last surviving member, saw no reason to celebrate.
You turned down a chance to do a tribute at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, that would have turned into such a hype fest. I'm not a Madison Square Garden guy.
You're not?
I'm just not.
But he did accept a Lifetime Achievement Award from British GQ.
There was no speech, you know, just thanks, ciao. You know, keep it like that.
You like it like that one?
I like it like that, yeah, yeah.
In a new book of his lyrics, Till Wrong Feels Right, Iggy looks back on his career.
It was really fun to do the 60s and 70s. By the 80s, I'm getting grumpy.
And by the 90s, he writes, he'd become an endangered species.
When it turns to the 20th century, you say, I crawled out of my dark cave and into the limelight of love and acceptance.
Yeah, and it's that's tongue-in-cheek.
But there's some truth to it?
There's a lot of truth to that.
He remembers a moment driving in Miami, where he moved in the 90s.
I pulled into a gas station in my old Cadillac convertible, and I was gonna open the door to go pump gas, and all of a sudden, from two opposite directions, two cop cars come screeching up and flank me, and I thought, oh, you know, and they both went, Iggy Pop! you know, man, you know, tell us about it, whatever, you know. And I realized, hey, I'm in. This is cool.
Feels good.
Yeah. Not everybody. Let's not get carried away. All right. Yeah.
I love Iggy
So
Pop.
likable, I see.
He's you know, he's an incredibly eloquent and sweet guy.
Yeah, very thoughtful. And so interesting to me that even at 71, 72,
yeah,
you can still get so emotional about your dad. That father-son dynamic
is so
is
powerful.
very, very, very strong.
And he has enormous respect for his parents.
Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah.
James Osterberg Jr. is still in there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, he was most likely to succeed. He actually worked on Kennedy's campaign. He thought he might be a politician one day.
Now, this may be a dumb question. Where does the blood come from? How does that happen?
Oh, he was because he was diving all over the stage. And
so he
actually,
would just get
he would
cut.
get cut.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was wondering, how do you do that? All right.